Have you ever paused to think about what truly happens when you are no longer the center of someone's universe? Picture, even if only for a moment, vanishing entirely from someone's life, no messages, no calls, no contact of any kind. What do you imagine begins to unfold in the quiet that follows your absence? This isn't merely a mental exercise, it's a powerful lens through which we can understand the depth of our influence on others and the surprising wisdom that can emerge when we take a step back. Today, I invite you to journey inward with me, to explore the often underappreciated but life-altering force of absence. Viewed through the lens of Stoicism, will uncover how stepping away can foster growth, deepen bonds, and fortify our inner strength. Keep your heart and mind open as we navigate these reflections together. Many of you have expressed how this channel has helped shift your thinking and offered meaningful insights into your daily life, and for that, I am deeply thankful. If this is your first time here, or if you've followed along but haven't subscribed yet, now's the moment to become part of our community. Hit subscribe, like the video, and share it with anyone seeking personal growth and philosophical insight. Some of what we discuss may feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar, especially if you're new to Stoic ideas, but I encourage everyone to stay with us until the end. What we explore today touches on core truths that can guide anyone toward deeper self-understanding and a more fulfilling life. Let's begin this journey. And remember, the path to self-discovery isn't just about answers. It's about asking the questions that matter most. Rejection, it's that initial, painful sting you feel when someone abruptly withdraws, stops responding, and you're left grappling with silence. Now imagine this playing out in your own life. You've shared space, time, and communication with someone, and suddenly, it's all gone. This isn't just missing a message or toots their complete absence from your world. The result, a gut punch to your pride, a disruption to what felt like a genuine connection. You start to wonder, was it something you said? Did you misread the signals? These thoughts swirl endlessly, creating emotional chaos. Yet, here is where Stoic wisdom offers clarity. Rather than taking rejection personally, the Stoics remind us that it's a part of life, one we cannot control. Our power lies in how we choose to respond. Stoicism doesn't numb us to the pain, but it equips us with a strategy to process it. As Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." So when someone walks away, it's our chance, not an easy one, to live this truth. It's about recognizing and feeling the hurt without letting it dictate our worth or behavior. Stoicism encourages a detachment from the craving for outside validation. Your value doesn't waver because someone stopped showing up. By practicing this emotional independence, rejection transforms from a blow to the ego into a release from dependence, and a step toward self-sovereignty. Yes, rejection hurts, but it can also strengthen us, challenge us to mature emotionally, and push us closer to who we are meant to become. We begin to ask, how can this pain serve me? How can it refine me into someone less reactive and more grounded in Now consider curiosity, that restless voice inside asking, why did they leave? What did I miss? What's happening in their life now? It's a natural, deeply human urge to search for answers when we're left in the dark. But curiosity isn't just meddling, it's often the start of meaningful introspection. When someone exits our lives without explanation, curiosity compels us to replay past interactions and dissect what might have gone wrong. This process can be enlightening or destructive. On one hand, it sparks a desire for clarity and wisdom, principles central to Stoic thought. On the other, unchecked curiosity can spiral into obsession, dragging us further from peace. Stoicism teaches us to anchor curiosity in what we can actually control: our emotions, our interpretations, our behavior. We may never know why someone left, and Stoics like Seneca and Epictetus would argue that we don't need to. Instead, they challenge us to turn that inquisitive energy inward. Ask yourself, what does this unanswered question reveal about me, about my needs, expectations, and emotional patterns? When redirected inward, curiosity becomes a compass for self-awareness, rather than a trap of speculation. It can build resilience by encouraging us to better understand our internal responses, and in doing so, we develop a practice of reflection that makes us stronger in the face of life's uncertainties. Finally, we arrive at self-reflection, deeper confrontation that begins when someone's absence becomes impossible to ignore. It's like a mirror suddenly turned toward you, showing not just what's missing, but what's within. This reflection invites a raw and honest look at how we engage in relationships. Were we too dependent? Did we ignore the signs of discomfort? It's not about blame, it's about growth. Stoic philosophy urges us to examine our lives regularly and rigorously. Marcus Aurelius often advised viewing one's own actions as impartially as a philosopher observing another. Through this lens, we move from self-pity to self-inquiry. What did this relationship teach me about my attachment style, my emotional needs, my communication patterns? What can I learn about setting boundaries and respecting both others' space and my own? Stoicism makes this process a cornerstone of personal development. We come to see that every emotional wound carries a lesson if we're willing to face it with courage and clarity. In the end, absence doesn't just reveal who they weren't, reveals who you are. And through that revelation, a stronger, wiser version of you can emerge. It teaches us about acceptance of others as they are, and acceptance of the fact that we cannot control anyone's actions but our own. While this realization can be difficult, it's also profoundly liberating, as it redirects our focus from trying to change others or fix external situations to the only thing we can truly influence: ourselves. From a Stoic perspective, every external event, especially those involving emotional pain, offers an opportunity to cultivate virtues such as patience, temperance, and courage. When someone exits our life, it becomes a powerful moment to examine how we handle emotional disruption, how we respond to loss, and cope with uncertainty. These reflections can push us toward personal evolution. In such times, self-reflection can serve as a crucible for growth, helping us detach from external validation and turn inward toward our own values and internal compass. By learning to navigate emotional upheaval independently, we gradually build a deeper sense of self-reliance and trust in our own resilience. Independence, then, is not about isolation, but about developing the strength to stand on our own, make sound decisions, and remain emotionally grounded regardless of who comes or goes from our lives. The abrupt absence of someone forces us to examine our dependencies. Perhaps we were leaning too much on their presence, their approval, or the emotional stability they provided. Stoicism holds that true freedom lies in needing little from the external world, including the affirmation of others. This form of independence doesn't diminish our connections with others, but instead enhances them, allowing us to engage in relationships out of desire and respect rather than need or fear of loneliness. As we explore this independence, we may rediscover neglected interests, forge new connections, or simply enjoy the stillness of our own company. Stoicism teaches that every difficulty is an invitation to embody virtue, and navigating solitude is no exception. It becomes a daily opportunity to practice patience, fortitude, and emotional temperance. This mindset also transforms the way we view future relationships, not as crutches, but as conscious choices that enrich our lives without defining them. With this strength, we are less afraid of future losses because we understand that our stability and peace are not at the mercy of another's presence. When someone leaves unexpectedly, anxiety often follows, an inner disturbance sparked not only by their absence, but by the unsettling ambiguity it creates. Questions arise, fears surface, and a creeping sense of insecurity may spread into other parts of our life. But Stoicism provides a practical lens for this discomfort. It urges us to identify what exactly is causing our anxiety, usually an unmet expectation or a longing for control over things inherently uncontrollable. The Stoics remind us that we must separate what we can influence from what we cannot, and in doing so, we reclaim power over our emotional state, rather than being swept up in speculation. We are encouraged to ground ourselves in the present moment and to act in accordance with reason and virtue. The Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, mentally preparing for potential loss, helps to soften the emotional blow of such surprises, making us more emotionally agile and less prone to spiraling. By approaching anxiety as a teacher rather than an enemy, we can see it as a prompt to practice courage, to face internal fears head-on, and to reinforce the understanding that while pain is real, it need not be paralyzing. Finally, from the quiet that follows someone's departure, appreciation can emerge, a sense of gratitude that may not surface immediately, but grows in the stillness that absence leaves behind. In hindsight, we begin to see the beauty of shared moments and the lessons they carried, however brief or bittersweet. Stoicism, through its reflection on impermanence, invites us to cherish everything with the awareness that nothing is guaranteed to last. This perspective doesn't romanticize the loss, but reframes it as part of the human experience, helping us not only to mourn, but also to honor what once was. In this way, the disappearance of someone from our lives becomes not just a source of sorrow, but a catalyst for acceptance, strength, reflection, and ultimately, appreciation. It fosters a deep sense of gratitude, one that can gradually transform the pain of loss into a quiet celebration of shared experiences and personal evolution. When someone leaves, their absence often casts a clearer light on the mark they left. Behind you, begin to notice the support you once took for granted, the comfort of their presence, or the unique lens through which they saw the world. This growing appreciation isn't limited to them as individuals, but also extends to the lessons and strengths you gained from the relationship, whether consciously taught or simply absorbed through experience. Stoic philosophy invites us to use these moments as catalysts, not only to reflect on those who are gone, but also to cherish more deeply the people still present in our lives. Seneca, one of Stoicism's most compassionate voices, reminded us often to value our relationships while we have them, not merely in hindsight. This awareness leads to more intentional, heartfelt interactions, built on the understanding that time is fleeting and every connection is fragile. Furthermore, appreciation in the Stoic sense isn't just directed outward, it also turns inward. Perhaps their absence revealed a quiet strength in you, a resilience that had long been dormant, or maybe it opened the door for new interests, hobbies and skills that are now part of your identity. In this light, you begin to value not only what the relationship gave you, but also who you've become in its absence, transforming emptiness into fertile ground for self-discovery and renewal. This naturally leads into a reflection on values. The departure of someone meaningful doesn't only prompt you to question the relationship, it presses you to evaluate the very foundation of your beliefs and priorities. What truly matters to you? How aligned are your actions with your core principles? These aren't abstract questions, they are grounded, urgent considerations, especially in the Stoic worldview where virtue, reason, and moral integrity form the highest good. Moments of loss create stillness, and in that stillness lies the opportunity to assess whether we've been living in accordance with our ideals or compromising them, to preserve connections that may not have served us. For instance, if you hold loyalty and authenticity as essential values, this is the moment to reflect: was that relationship in harmony with those values, or did you find yourself bending them out of fear or dependency? Moreover, this reflection often reveals how and where we've been investing our time, our energy, and even our emotional capacity. Seneca reminds us that time is our most precious possession, and how we use it defines our character. The absence of someone can illuminate just how much time we may have spent trying to fulfill others' needs while neglecting our own. As we shift back into alignment with our values, we begin to reclaim that time and energy for pursuits that are nourishing, purposeful, and in sync with who we truly are. This reflective process not only strengthens our sense of identity, but also empowers us to enter future relationships with greater clarity and discernment. It enables us to act from self-respect, rather than a desire for external approval, and to seek companionship based on shared values rather than emotional need. In practical terms, reflection on values might involve journaling, meditative walks, philosophical reading, or honest conversations with trusted mentors, or tools that bring us closer to a life of intention and self-knowledge. Equally important is the reset of dynamics that naturally follows when someone disappears from our lives. This isn't just about adapting to absence, it's a chance to examine the structure of our relationships and recalibrate them in ways that better reflect who we are and what we value. The Stoics viewed such disruptions as tests of our adaptability and inner strength. Epictetus famously taught that true freedom lies in being untouched by external changes, and this includes the loss or fading away of connections. In the aftermath of someone's exit, we are invited to consider who we are without them and how we choose to show up in the lives of others from this new space. Often, this reset clears emotional and mental bandwidth, allowing healthier, more reciprocal relationships to blossom. It may lead us to rekindle old friendships, build new ones, or simply deepen the one we have with ourselves. It also teaches us to approach future connections more intentionally, with clearer boundaries, deeper awareness, and a stronger sense of self-worth. In this process, we are tested. Can we meet the shift with equanimity? Can we practice patience, forgiveness, and composure, even when hurt or disrupted? These challenges, though difficult, are opportunities to exercise Stoic virtue and grow into a version of ourselves that is more stable, wise, and compassionate. And at the heart of this reset is the truth Marcus Aurelius often wrote about: the impermanence of all things. People come and go, life shifts, the world changes, but what remains constant is our ability to respond with integrity, to remain grounded in our values, and to accept the nature of change with grace. Thank you for walking with me today through this reflection on absence, gratitude, and the quiet strength of Stoicism. Sometimes stepping back isn't a retreat, it's the only true way forward. If today's journey resonated with you, I encourage you to explore more. Click on the suggested video on your screen and keep walking the path of self-mastery. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Stoic Journal community. Stay curious, stay grounded, and keep seeking wisdom.